Is jealousy healthy in a relationship? Stay tuned because we're going to dive in. Hello, my name is Francesca, and I am a love, dating, and relationships coach. And today, like I said, we're going to talk about jealousy. So there are lots of layers around jealousy. And if you are a subscriber or if you've seen other videos, you know how much I love looking at all the different layers that go into relationship. It's my jam, my passion, my mastery. I got this. I got you. Let me support you. So the question, is jealousy healthy in a relationship? Most studies have said that, yeah, there a teeny bit of jealousy in a relationship can be good. There are certain situations where jealousy might pop up. And the reason for that, it's good because the reason behind that means that you value your partner, you value the relationship, but it shouldn't be an ongoing feeling. There should only be, like I said, certain times where there might be a threat to the relationship, and that's when the jealousy will pop up, or a perceived threat. Could be perceived and or a real threat. And we're humans. And I know a lot of clients that I work with have been on their journey for decades, and they think, I'm evolved, I've come so far, I shouldn't feel jealous. Now we're constantly evolving and growing. And we are human, we're having a human experience, and all emotions are good. So there's no shame if that green-eyed monster raises its head. Like I said, it could signal, because we can still be very primal in our feelings that there is that perceived threat or a threat. So that said, there's also a not so good time with jealousy. And I don't know about you, but I have met in my day people that just tend to be jealous people. So there is a difference between, a person that is constantly jealous versus a situation in which jealousy might arise. So I'm going to break this down. So we're going to look at one situation, and then we're going to look at individual kind of layers underneath that. So the first situation that usually happens at some point in a relationship, that little spark of jealousy when there is a perceived threat or an actual threat. And like I said, that all research supports that that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because it means, once again, that you value this. So in this type situation, the first question to ask is my partner behaving in a way that doesn't honor the boundaries of our relationship? Maybe they're spending a little too much time with a coworker, maybe things might be getting a little flirty. You generally know. Most people know when some lines are getting blurry. And if that's a situation, the simple solution is just to have a conversation. When you're calm, of course, and you simply state what you've observed, and in a non-accusatory fashion, and you reiterate what the boundaries of your relationship are, because it may be different from couple to couple. That's been my experience as a coach. So whatever the boundaries are that you have set with your partner, reiterate those. And sometimes partners may not realize that there might be somebody that might be pushing those boundaries. It could be an old friend, it could be a coworker, it could be, somebody they meet at some meet and greet for work. There's all different situations in which that could happen. But communication is key. And your partner should always honor your feelings, like all feelings are valid. And then once again, it can probably be very easily resolved. Now, like I said, that's not going to happen many times throughout a relationship. It probably will come up. We're human. If you've been in a relationship for 20 years, there may be a few times where that jealousy has popped up. It's been resolved. No biggie. However, if it is a very strong underlying percent, then that's when a little self-reflection and some other questions need to get looked at. So everybody experiences probably jealousy on a whole percentage, from 1% to 100%. So if you're over, like, I would say 20% a lot of the time, there are some questions and some things to reflect on and think about. So fear, this is the first layer. There's usually a fear of abandonment, that person is going to abandon you. And not to surprise anybody, but most humans do have a fear of abandonment. Some may only be 1%, all the way to 100%, to varying degrees. It's just one of the common fears that all humans experience at some point in their life. Now, awareness is key. Once again, there's no right or wrong. It's all about awareness, because once you become aware, then you can look at it, you can shift it, whether you can do the shift yourself by simple perspective, other mindset things, other specific strategies, or you need to go speak to a therapist, a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever works for you and supports you. So the fear of abandonment is one thing. And then a second layer possibility is the fear of loss. So they are kind of similar, but at the same time, those roots to both of those can be very different. So the fear of loss could be as in like the loss of the relationship. There's the loss of the person, the abandonment, then there's the loss of the thing, the possession. And like I said, depending on the individual, they could have the same root challenge or it could be completely different. And what I love about fear, because once again, it's all good. There's nothing is ever bad. It's all good because it's all awareness and getting to what is underneath that. So with fear is an indicator that you have given away meeting a need to another person, another place, another thing, whatever, and that you are not meeting the need within yourself. This is profound. So I'm going to say it again for the people in the back, or you can pause it, rewind, listen to it again. So fear is an indicator that there is a need that you have given away and that you're not meeting for yourself. So, for example, if abandonment is a fear of yours, the solution is connection. So you've given away connection, that responsibility to your partner, to your friends, to your, family, etc. And so it's being aware of where you've, we'll call it, placed your reference points for connection outside of yourself. And so you want to deeply connect with yourself. And there are lots of meditations that you can do for that. And you can simply just start turning more inward and just connecting, like, how am I really feeling today? And it just becomes more of an inner monologue. And so you start meeting that connection more and more within yourself. It's the same thing with the fear of loss. That can have, like I said, other different layers underneath it. And that could go to a safety issue. It could also be linked to the abandonment, and there can be other root challenges underneath that. And a third layer generally around with constant jealousy is linked to an insecurity. And underneath that insecurity, like I said, this is super layered and I love it. And underneath that insecurity, there's other little mini layers. But one of those layers is always a feeling of not being good enough, or not having enough. So you see how this can be like super duper layered. And it's just a process of awareness and thinking, what is this really about? What am I really afraid of? And then that can help you get to that root challenge. And if you struggle with the not good enough, the solution is super simple. Think about one quality that you value about yourself. So I'll just take my humor. Like, I think I'm hilarious. And you know what? Nobody else needs to. It's nobody's job. It's my job to value those qualities that I love about myself. And so every day I could think, I love my humor. I crack myself up, but in a very humble way, right? This isn't, I'm so amazing, I'm so funny. It's in a, if somebody took my humor away from me, I would be devastated. Like, I wouldn't be me. So use that as a starting point. Think about one quality that if somebody took it away from you, you wouldn't be anymore. Like, so that is something that you value so deeply about yourself. And then just, I love my humor. I love making myself laugh. And then that starts to build and clear that not good enough. And so I hope that this was helpful. And to reiterate, jealousy can be healthy in small doses at certain times. If there are long-standing jealousy issues, take an opportunity to reflect if you're ready to shift it. If not, keep it. Maybe that's what you're using to help yourself evolve. Everybody uses something different. Some people use anger, some people use jealousy, some people use different fears. And then ask yourself what's really underneath the fear. So I hope that this was helpful and insightful. It's very layered. I try to make it as simple as possible because as humans, we try to make things very complex, but I find that the simple is the most profound and it's easier to digest in different layers. So I appreciate you watching. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, click subscribe. Comments, have you experienced jealousy and to what degree? And was it linked to a fear? Was it linked to a partner's behavior? Let me know your experience. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.